In the village of Chainpur lived a wrestler named Birju Pehlwan. Birju's body was as hard as iron, and his chest measured 56 inches. He owned a huge buffalo called Kalia. Birju was extremely proud of his strength and of his powerful buffalo. He often sat at the village square and boasted, "In this world, the one with strength is the real king. All this talk of books and intelligence is just an excuse made by the weak." In the same village lived a thin, elderly man whom everyone called Sukhu Kaka. There was little flesh on Sukhu Kaka's body, but his mind worked very fast and sharply. One day, a debate broke out at the village square about what was the greatest thing in the world. Birju Pehlwan slapped his thigh and said confidently, "It's very simple. Might is right. The one who has strength is the greatest." Sukhu Kaka smiled, took a puff from his hookah, and replied, "Birju, physical strength fades with time. But intelligence is something that can even bend mountains. Always remember, intelligence is greater than brute force." These words pricked Birju's pride. He immediately challenged Sukhu Kaka, saying, "All right, Kaka, if your intelligence is really so great, then come tomorrow morning to the old well of the village. There is a heavy stone platform there that has been sunk into the ground for years. If you can remove it without touching it or using any animal, I will accept that your intelligence is greater than my buffalo. And if you fail, you must admit in front of the entire village that strength is everything." Sukhu Kaka calmly accepted the challenge. The next morning, the entire village gathered near the old well. Birju Pehlwan arrived proudly with his massive buffalo Kalia. To show his strength, he tied the buffalo to the stone platform and urged it to pull. The buffalo snorted and strained. Birju himself pushed with all his might, and both were drenched in sweat. But the stone did not move even an inch. It was deeply embedded in the ground. Panting heavily, Birju said, "Did you see that, Kaka? When even my Kalia couldn't move it, what can your intelligence possibly do?" Sukhu Kaka stepped forward. He carried no heavy tools, only a long, strong wooden log and a few small stones. The villagers laughed and mocked him, saying, "Kaka, what will you do with that stick?" Sukhu Kaka said nothing. He dug a little soil from one side of the stone platform, placed a small stone underneath it, and then positioned the long wooden log on top of that small stone in such a way that one end of the log went under the platform. Then he called two small children from the village and said, "My children, just put a little of your weight on the other end of this wooden log." As soon as the children pressed down, the heavy stone platform lifted and came out of the ground in an instant, rolling aside due to the principle of the lever. A deep silence fell over the village. Birju Pehlwan's eyes were wide open in shock. The stone that he and his powerful buffalo could not move with all their strength had been removed by Sukhu Kaka using only a wooden log and the help of two children. Sukhu Kaka walked up to Birju, placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You see, Birju, you had strength and your buffalo had strength too. But you didn't know where and how to apply it. Using strength in the right way is true intelligence. Strength without intelligence only carries burdens. But strength guided by intelligence creates history." Birju Pehlwan lowered his head in shame and understood that day that no matter how strong the body may be, it can never defeat the power of the mind. The lesson of this story is clear. Physical strength has its limits, but with intelligence and wisdom, even the greatest problems can be solved easily. That is why the answer to the question, which is greater, intelligence or brute force, is always intelligence.